To get started with some comments that I've got prepared here. I feel very passionate about this topic for reasons that I won't be disclosing this evening, but I wanted to prepare some statements so that I could keep myself on track, so I appreciate your patience while I sort of read through some things. My job as a city council member, among many other things, is to put the public safety and quality of life of our residents at the top of my priority list. I have an obligation to advocate for policies and actions that support and protect the people that live within this city. I also have an ethical obligation to advocate for people who are at risk of losing any of their fundamental human needs, and shelter and housing is one of those human needs. We talk at length in this city about the plight of homelessness. We discuss and we debate solutions and responses, and tonight we actually have the opportunity to be proactive and preventative in the fight against homelessness. Now, I don't know if Mr. Wheaton is here with us this evening. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
That's Justin.
I have a quote here from you that in a document that you sent the council this week that says, "As you may imagine, a community in this condition is expensive to maintain, with the failing systems, has constant maintenance issues, and with tenants paying far below market rents, generating income to keep the lights on and units habitable becomes difficult." Now, I would imagine that any investor would not put themselves in a position to purchase an item that you're so worried about keeping the lights on. What I struggle with, and this is, I'm speaking on behalf of myself, my colleagues will have their own things that they will share, is what I imagine when I hear someone purchasing property in that way is that there's actually a focus on profit. Profit that you can make off of this opportunity, as you've called it, at the expense of displacing working people. These are human beings. Moms, dads. These are children, these are grandparents, and so on, who are just trying to exist, to work, to enjoy their lives. I have a quote here that says, "Tenants are more than welcome to transfer to a renovated unit at the new rents, and it's always good to remember that market rents are what the market determines, not us." I don't care what the market says, because what is a working family supposed to do when their wages have not kept up with this market that we're so quick to blame the issue on? What happens to families that are on fixed incomes who will never see a wage or supplemental check keep up with the inflation of this disembodied entity that is the market that we always speak of? What we have the power to do here is change the conditions that lead people to profit off of the displacement of these human beings. When we talk at length here on the dais about homelessness and the growing inequities in our community, we must name that one source of that community dissolve is the idea that profit is more valuable than people. And I absolutely cannot let that happen in my community. Per your suggestion that the city and county work with these displaced peoples to acquire Section 8 vouchers should they be unable to afford these market rents, do you actually have any idea how hard it is to actually qualify for Section 8 and how much harder it is to actually receive a voucher? I mean, were you even aware that roughly 1 in 30 people who even qualify for Section 8 housing actually get a voucher for assistance? Meanwhile, those who do qualify and get a voucher can wait years. And when they do find housing, oftentimes those vouchers expire before they can even utilize them, usually within 60 days. And who does that even subsidize when you think about it? It subsidizes landowners and landlords. And how is that fair for working people or for taxpayers when you really think about it? If your goal is to truly create quality housing for these wonderful people who live and work here in our city, then do it. But do it because it's the right thing to do, not because you can turn a profit. Communities must focus on policies that prevent the displacement of residents and preserve housing. And for this and so many other reasons, I will absolutely be supporting tonight's urgency ordinance to keep these residents rightfully housed.
want to say, well said,